Okay, let's see. Let's see if you guys amping him get anything.
Shit, we didn't even talk about this topic, but okay.
Alright, Jin, are you fucking ready, Freddy?
Alright, MP, MT.
Yeah, I'm ready.
P implies
Okay,
Q, P
who the
equals
TLE, TOL, fuck, whatever the fuck.
Guys, Xerif,
Yes.
Yeah.
you're echoing. Alright, thanks. Okay, Jen, so tell me why the existence of the law of identity is contingent upon the existence of the other laws of logic.
Because of if the law of identity doesn't use them to identify itself, it will make syntax error of like other shits that could possibly come. Because if you say
Syntax errors wouldn't exist if the other laws didn't exist. So then it could exist just without syntax errors. I don't see
nah,
that
because
exists.
if you remove it, right, a red apple cannot be a green apple, and that will make a syntax error. So like in order for the law of identity to identify itself, like it needs to like use the other laws to stop any contradiction from coming in.
No. Okay.
Yeah, like
I'm just saying. Hold on. Jin. When I say that A equals A, I'm just saying that A does equal A. I'm not saying that A cannot equal not A. Like I'm not saying the law of non-contradiction. That's why the law of non-contradiction is a completely different law, right? So these laws could hypothetically exist like independently from each other. They just assert or affirm different axioms, or
no,
they're just kind
I
of.
wouldn't agree with because like say you have this apple. It's two different.
Okay.
It's two different apples. Like let's say, I'm gonna put this for you. Fucking. All right. So you have an apple, right? And then this apple can only be red if the apple is not green. And if the apple is not green, right? The apple is red. The only way for the apple can be red is if that law of identity, which would be the red apple, uses like the law of like excluded middle to bypass the law of non-contradiction to therefore prove itself to be like, yeah, I'm red, not green. Because without it, it can be anything else other than itself.
Okay, what's wrong with it being anything other than itself? If the laws
because then it makes syntax error, and it wouldn't be coherent.
Hold on. Why does it need to be coherent, or why does it need to follow a
You think the law of identity can be incoherent? You think it can be incoherent with itself? If that was the case, it'll just like debunk itself. Wouldn't be able to use it.
Okay, just to say that something equals itself, you're just
So,
like presupposing.
You think A equals B, even though A can't be B, because A equals A?
Okay, hold on. If we only have the law of identity, then that very well could be the case. You need the other two laws, sure, to say that this is only A equals A, but that's not what the law of identity affirms. So that's not like what I defined it as earlier. So it's like there's a difference between what we're claiming. I'm just saying A equals A. I'm not saying A only equals A. So you understand that, right? That's
No,
why you need.
I'm saying there's nothing to prove that A equals A, because without the other two laws, A can be B, which and A is not B. So
okay, well, why does that debunk the existence?
because if a red, you think a red apple cannot be a green apple, it's literally debunks itself. Like A would not be equal to A.
Okay, that still that just violates the law of non-contradiction, but I don't see how that like violates the law of identity. If we're just only accepting the law of identity, if we exclude the other two, then that still follows the law of identity.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't follow the law of because if it's the law of identity, the red apple would have to be A, and the green apple would be B, and A can equal B.
Again, Jin, no. That argument that you're making right now only works if the law of identity were to say A can only equal A, right? But that's not what the law of identity is saying. So you it doesn't debug the existence or what the law of identity is trying to say.
All right. Post definition of the law of identity.
Well, we just define it as A equals A. Like, do you hold any contention to that definition or what?
I would define it as like something equals itself. Like A equals would be good, but like
Let's
yeah.
go off of A equals A because that's what we've been using, right? This entire debate.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Okay,
like
so
something wouldn't equal it. There's nothing to say that though, because like I can just say A does equal itself, and then like how you can prove A equals itself.
Well, you can just say nay. Okay, like that would work if you only had the law of identity. Like,
but you understand, A can't justify itself if the other two laws aren't there to help it.
okay, it can't justify itself if the law of identity is saying it's only A, right? Yeah, so that's the only way you can use the argument. Or that's the only way the argument actually works is if the law of identity was affirming that A only equals A. But in this instance, it's only saying A equals A. It's not saying that A cannot equal B, like, or A can equal G or some shit.
No, not like when it says A equals A, it's referring to something equaling itself, not something not equaling itself and other things. Like a chair cannot be a bed.
Hold on, it could only not equal itself if we have the law of non-contradiction, but that is not what the law of identity is trying to say. That's why you have the other two laws, obviously, to like assert different things. But if we just have the law of identity by itself, its existence of saying something equals itself is not contingent upon the other two laws. Like, no, you're trying to say that while also imposing some other definition that we did not agree to. So
This is not going anywhere.
It's not.
yeah, because your argument doesn't stand and it doesn't follow from the definition that we're using.
I feel like we're going in circles here, so can you both just can we post like, I don't know, like syllogism, post a syllogism?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, P1,
like,
P2, P3 or some shit.
Like we're just like going in like fucking circles here.
Well, okay, Bucky.
If you want Jin to, because I know Jin knows about.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying I don't know what a syllogism is. I'm just saying, do you guys at least comprehend what my argument is?
Yeah, we definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then, actually, never mind. This is your guys'
Yeah, nigga, we're not gonna try to persuade Jin for you. I'm not gonna say who we think's winning.
I actually appreciate that, Jade.
Shut the fuck up.
What the fuck? Calm down. Okay, back to the.
No. It's a lot. It's
nobody fucking cares. Just continue. Oh my god.
It's contrary to what you did in the past.
Care.
Yeah, what you've done in the past.
All right. Well, we're in here.
Yeah, our friendship, Jade's friendship.
Shut up.
Okay. So, Jen, do you have any sort of argument? Like,
he's typing it out.
He's typing it out where?
Yeah, he's typing his syllogism, retard.
Yeah, where? And I asked where.
It doesn't matter. He'll just tell you whenever he's done.
Oh my god, you guys are DMing me too, probably.
No, we aren't.
No, I'm not.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Here comes Jim with the fuck. No, not Jim. Gymbal with the speculation. Oh my god. He's winning already. He doesn't.
Hey, Jade's done that shit in the past, alright?
I did it to see you 8 months ago because I wanted to help some fucking
that's
Karthi's dojo goon.
Right?
Yeah, okay, I've never done that now.
Thank you.
And I haven't done it now. You have no reason to suspect me. If you're getting smacked by Jin, don't try to make excuses.
Hold on.
Don't make excuses because you're getting destroyed. Oh, just shut the fuck up.
I'm getting destroyed?
Yes, you are getting anally raped.
Yeah,
you are getting sodomized.
You guys are retarded. No.
Okay, after this, we're
Jin
gonna
can't
explain
think for
to you how.
in these kinds of conversations. You guys are clearly
You're not. How do you,
I did
we
it to
fucking
myself,
we
and you
talked
guys
in
are
like
pedaling for him.
Okay, I muted Jade because I don't want this the title being Jin and Jade versus Gymbal. You guys can have a discussion after.
Fair enough.
But while we're waiting, we'll.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
Before you attack it, I'd just like to tell you the law of identity is something equal in itself. It never states that something equals itself and others. So you can't say that.
Wait, I can't say what.
That it can also equal itself and its contradiction.
Well, that's what it would imply, right? That's what you're saying. That's what it implies. You didn't have the law of non-contradiction, right?
Well, down here.
Can you just give a syllogism?
Okay.
Yeah, don't attack it. He's just trying to give it first.
Well, I'll just respond to what he says. Okay, there's an apple. The apple can only be red if the apple isn't green. The apple isn't green, therefore the apple is red.
The apple is like the law of identity.
Okay, what is this trying to
Convey.
prove?
Alright, so it's basically conveying like that this cannot prove itself. Like the law of identity doesn't prove itself because I can just say, well, it's not red, it can be green, and you need the other laws to suggest that the apple is actually red without being green.
Yeah, why does that debunk the law of identity?
Okay, because it proves without the other two laws, you can't necessarily prove that A equals A because A can equal B and B is not A.
Okay,
Green
but
does
A
not
could-
equal red.
hold on. No. A very well could be A with the law of identity. It just A wouldn't only be A. You know, okay. A cannot equal not A, right? Right?
Yeah,
But
A
that's
can't
what
equal
the-
not A.
Yeah, that's like what the law.
Not
of
A can be B.
identity-
Like doesn't matter.
That's what the law of non-contradiction is, right? A cannot equal not A, right? Because that's a contradiction. Both cannot be true. They both cannot exist, and they can't equal themselves if they are not themselves. You know, they're different. That's what the law of non-contradiction is. But if the law of identity doesn't have this sort of law, this sort of principle in it, then anything that
so-
isn't affected by what the law of identity actually affirms can exist in like some sort of hypothetical realm where only the law of identity is true.
So so you're saying if I have this chair, you're gonna say it's a chair?
If you have this chair,
Like prove that chair is actually a chair. Like what if it's just a bed? Like what if it's a stove? How are you gonna prove it of anything else other than like
well, I mean,
it being it?
hold on. Without the law of non-contradiction, it could very well mean everything. You know, it could be a chair, it could be a fucking TV, it could be a fucking Sprite bottle. Because we don't have the law of non-contradiction, the law of excludable to say otherwise, right?
Yeah, this is the same point that you went over earlier. It's just the same
and
thing.
he's not getting it. Like,
Okay,
it doesn't.
I don't care what you think. It's your choice, Bucky. What do you think we should do?
I'll say let it continue for a little bit, and we.
Like, okay, you see how.
Gymbal, why don't
syllogism
you
that
make your
gave-
syllogism? Because you just
okay,
made
in
his.
in the syllogism that you gave, Jen, you like
Okay, just ignore me.
you're saying the apple can only be red, right? That's like an axiom. Are you trying to say this is like similar to the apple can only be red if the apple isn't green?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not like the definition of the law of identity we agreed upon. It's not trying to say only. I know we're just like
Never agreed upon that.
No, we did agree upon that.
No, we agreed upon like A equal an A or something equal to itself. Like if we agreed upon this would actually help me more, because then this would mean that the red apple cannot be green, and in this case, the chair cannot be a bed.
Okay. No. We didn't agree upon the axiom that you had set in your syllogism. I didn't agree to that. We agreed earlier that something equals itself, right? A equals A. That's what we had agreed upon for the definition of the law of identity. If there is no form of or if there's no like statement or nothing that says only like A can only equal A within the definition of the law of identity that we agree upon, then you cannot presuppose it in your argument. You see?
Then you as well that A can be B as well as A.
Okay, because there's nothing saying that.
And also, I wouldn't be like necessarily presupposing it, because the other laws show that A can't contradict itself, and there can't be something can't be true and false at the same time, or it creates like syntax error and shit.
No. The reason why you're presupposing it is because there's nothing within the principle, the principle of the law of identity. There's nothing that's saying that it's only itself. If the definition does not state it, then we cannot impose it, right?
All right. If we use your logic, right? We say the definition does not state it. Definition never states that A equals B or A equals not A. It just says A equals A.
Okay. The reason as to why I say that that's the case, or that could be the case, is because we don't have the law of non-contradiction there. So that could be true in, let's say, a hypothetical realm where the law of identity, only the law of identity exists, right? That could be true, right? A could equal A, but A could also equal B. There's no law of non-contradiction to impose onto that, onto A equals B to claim it falls. So.
But okay, so you're basically saying that you can hypothesize it since it's not in the statement, like.
Okay, I'm saying if we have some hypothetical like realm.
All right, I can use your logic then too, like hypothetically, right? That's not the case, and I can use these laws to suggest that the law of identity does need these other laws to prove itself.
Okay, the thing is, though, is that this hypothetical is following the logic we had set for the debate. It's following the definitions, right? I'm saying the only thing that's true within this this hypothetical is the law of identity that we had agreed upon, which is just A equals A.
All right, show me right now, like show me red equaling green when they're two different colors.
Show you red equaling green?
Yeah.
Why do I need to show you that?
Because if you can't actually show me that red equals green, they're two different colors. Like you would be like conceding the fact that
Hold on, Jin, are you retarded?
I've heard this question like 3 times.
We can move on after this if you want to.
No, because you understand that you're asking me to like you're asking me to show you something that completely violates the law of non-contradiction, right? Yeah, I'm not saying that I think the law of non-contradiction is untrue.
Oh my.
Wait. So you agree you can't show something that contradicts the law of non-contradiction, right?
Yes.
What?
Okay. All right. That's all I needed from you.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay?
That's all I needed from you.
No. Jin, oh my god. You're not understanding what I'm saying at all. Okay.
Please get it.
Just because like I cannot give you like a physical example of that being the case, that just means that the law of non-contradiction is true within my reality or your reality, whatever the fuck we're perceiving. The thing is though, is that the law of identity's existence or whatever principle it's imposing is not contingent upon the law of non-contradiction.
All right, so basically what we're going to go through is
we can know this, right? Because in order to test that something is not contingent upon something, we have to give a hypothetical where the thing the thing that we're saying it's not contingent upon or is contingent upon, we have to like remove it.
Dude,
We can go to conclusions because I'm just going to use like my same retorts to those things.
yeah.
You def-
Are we definitely?
Oh my god.
You are fucking dominating him.
You are cock slapping.
Oh my god, I can't wait to explain how he's getting slapped. Because he was like, dude, you guys are retarded.
Fucking idiot, bro.
My friend's 1%. Fuck.
Okay. That's my
Conclusions. Who wants to go first, or do you guys think conclusions are necessary?
I was going off.
Well, he's gonna make the exact same retort. Oh my god.
No, I was. Okay, so Jen, as I was explaining.
No, he's gonna make the exact same retort.
Okay, well, how can we go to conclusion? How can we give a conclusion if we didn't agree upon like any judges?
How can you go to
What are
conclusions
you
of what?
fucking talking about?
Dude, you've been rambling this entire debate.
Like, okay, who's gonna give a verdict? Like, I don't agree.
We're not
There's not
asking
gonna be
for
any
verdicts,
verdict.
you retard. We're just gonna tell you what our opinion is, and like there being no verdict doesn't mean like you fucking just go on for eternity, you retard.
Well, I don't agree. I don't consent to going to conclusions. No.
Okay, then
Okay.
continue, whatever.
Okay, yeah, I'll continue on with the point I was making. Okay, so Jen, you agree that like a valid way to test if something is dependent upon something, we have to remove the thing that we're speculating it's dependent on to see if it still functions, right? Like
Yeah, sure.
hypothetically. Yeah, okay, so that's why I brought up the hypothetical realm or the hypothetical world where we take the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, and we just have the law of identity to be true.
No,
in that way.
wait a minute. In your case, right? What's your hypothetical? You're you're like come on, put this. You would presuppose something that isn't in the definition we agreed upon by saying A can also equal B or A can also equal not A, right? And if we say no, wait, let me continue. And if that is the case, the moment you have like the structure of A, like there's no way for you to prove that A equals A when it could be everything else. And since we never agreed upon A equals not A, you can't travel back into the hypothetical and say, yeah, it can also equal that to prove itself. So basically, you're just like stuck in a loop to where if you use this hypothetical, I can just say no, never agreed upon this type of standard, and it doesn't prove itself. And if we go back to like our reality, to where it does need itself, I mean these other laws, because if without it, contradictions will exist, and syntax error will just apply everywhere.
Okay.
So no matter how you see it, like it does need them.
You understand the difference between like what I'm claiming and what you're claiming? So the reasons
Wait,
why
I'm gonna use like
No. I'm just gonna respond to what you had said. So you had said that I'd be presupposing that this can fit within the definition. And the reason why I say that you're presupposing that it's saying only, if you're trying to use the argument that if it's saying it's only A equals A, then it requires a law of non-contradiction to be true as well, for that to be the case.
Wait, but by your logic, right?
Oh, hold on.
By your logic, you agree that like A squared times B squared equals C squared, and you be like, well, there's something to say that A squared times B squared equals C squared doesn't equal D squared times C squared equals A squared. You like that's what you use by your logic. You would say since nothing suggests that the contrary, I can still say it equals itself to something else. That's literally what you're saying. It's retarded.
Hold on. No. That could be the case if the law of non-contradiction,
Could be the case.
the law of excluded middle didn't exist, right? That could
God.
be the case.
Go to
Yeah,
conclusions.
I'm going to conclusions. I'm not dealing with this. I just made you look retarded.
You did not. Oh my God, Jin. You didn't let me like go on with my point. Okay.
Okay, because you're just making the exact same point. He's making the exact
he's
same
making the
retort.
exact same point as well, because
Okay,
he's
so then
monkey
there's no
argument.
argument there. It's just ad
Yeah,
nauseum.
he's presupposing the fucking definition. His argument does not validly
God,
attack
okay.
my position.
If you're
or
admitting
my
that it's ad
argument.
nauseum, why are you continuing?
Okay, fine. We can give a
Okay.
conclusion, just leave it for the recording. But I'm not accepting any sort of verdict Bucky or Jay to give because
Okay, well, after
Okay,
this,
no one asked you to.
yeah, I'm just gonna like explain our
I was
opinions.
just stating.
Okay, nobody fucking
Yeah,
cares.
I was just telling you then.
I care.
Okay.
Fucking retarded. Okay, Jen, do you want to go to conclusions, or do you think conclusions
Yeah,
are
I
necessary?
think I've got conclusions.
Okay,
Alright.
go ahead.
Go. One of you.
Jin.
Either one.
I think I won because when we agreed on definition, he would go into his hypothetical world and presuppose something that's not within the definition we agreed upon, and would just say this thing equals this contradiction. I'm like, no, since stuff suggests that it'll just be it wouldn't equal nothing at that point. There's no way to prove it. So that debunks all of this shit right there. And then if we just go into where the real world where it does need other laws, then basically this proves my point even further, to where you do need these laws to prove the law of identity. That's it.
Okay.
Alright, go Gymbal.
I think I won because going off the definition we'd agreed upon for the law of identity, which is A equals A. For the law of non-contradiction to be or for the law of identity to be contingent upon the truth value of the law of non-contradiction, you need the law of identity to be like A can only equal A, because obviously if you have A equals B, then that's not A only equals A, right? But the thing is, that's not the definition that we agreed upon. We just said A equals A. So for him to use the argument that the law of non-contradiction is required to affirm that, no, that only applies to some sort of presupposed definition that we didn't agree upon, and it does not follow the definition that we had both literally agreed upon. You can check the recording as well. And for my hypothetical, I had explained to Jin as to why, if we're trying to claim that something is not contingent upon something, then we should try to test that, hypothetically, and remove the thing that it may be contingent on to see if it still functions. Which Jin had agreed to. That's a valid way to test something. So that's what my hypothetical world was trying to represent, in that we just have the law of identity, but we don't have the law of non-contradiction. So A could very well equal A, which that's true. That's what the law of identity is trying to affirm. That's true. But A could also equal B, if we exclude the other two laws. So the truth value of the law of identity is not contingent upon those two laws. I honestly think I bought it. That's my
Okay. Okay, Bucky, do you want to explain why Jin won first, or should I?
I don't think I think it's pretty fun. I don't think it even needs an explanation. Anyone with half a brain can figure it out.
I just want to fucking make fun of the fact that Gymbal said, oh, but syntax errors wouldn't exist. I'm like, okay, well, then the law of non-contradiction would exist. Do you know what the law of non-contradiction is, Gymbal?
A cannot equal not A. Or two contradicting statements.
Contradictions can't exist. If you're saying syntax errors can't exist, you're saying that non-contradiction exists, you retard.
It's like two contradictions can't exist and both be true.
Okay, you're misrepresenting what I said. I said if the law of non-contradiction wasn't true, then syntax errors wouldn't exist. Do you agree to that?
Wasn't?
Yeah, if the law of non-contradiction did not exist, then syntax errors also wouldn't exist.
It also would not exist? Yes, they would.
Well,
Dude,
if we just have...
Are you retarded? Okay, with the law of non-contradiction, syntax errors don't exist, you retard.
What? Wait.
Fuck?
Are you understanding what I'm saying, Jade? Syntax errors wouldn't exist if the other laws didn't exist. So then it could exist just without syntax errors. I don't.
Nah, because if you remove it, right, a red apple cannot be a green apple, and that will make a syntax error. So in order for the law of identity to identify itself, it needs to use the other laws to stop any contradiction from coming in.
No. Okay.
Yeah, like,
I'm just saying. Hold on.